Welcome back to Getting on My Nerves with myself, Sophie, my co-host Angie, and we have got our wonderful guest today, Samuel.
Hello.
So Samuel, thank you so much for joining us today, and
thank you
we're
so
so
much.
excited to talk about your music because it's amazing, and it's like your first single out, and it's popping off on Instagram now.
We climbed the mountains and fell in the deep. We were holding on to something, then we lost belief. We're in the middle.
Yeah, it's gone a bit mad on Spotify as well. It's just crazy at the minute.
Do you want to go into a bit of a backstory into what channeled your music and this single?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so all my life I've kind of like gone through different experiences, and I've seen my family, my friends, myself just experience so many different things in life. And obviously I've been singing for a very long time. I've always wanted to write my own music. And I knew I wanted to kind of make it deep, meaningful, and to relate to so many people in so many different situations as well. But it was just finding the right time, the right producer, and really like homing in on songwriting and finding the right moment. And it feels right, especially with everything that I've kind of been through in life. And I've seen so many other people kind of experience. It was the right time.
It's a beautiful song. It really it gave me goosebumps when I listened to it. And so we'll just put a little pop out here. If you are interested in downloading Samuel's song, he's on Spotify, Amazon Music, and iTunes, from what I was able to see, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's on all platforms, Apple Music, absolutely everywhere. So yeah, thank you.
So you say that you've always wanted to write songs. What age did you start writing songs or like becoming really interested in music?
So all my life I've been interested in music, singing kind of like deep, big ballads. And obviously I was on a TV show last year on I Can See Your Voice on the BBC as well, which went absolutely amazing.
Wow.
And since then I really kind of was like, I need to find the right producer because I don't play any instruments, which is something I've kind of like always tried to develop. But I've always been working abroad as well. And I've always been kind of like the stage man. And I've always been like just the singer. So I've always kind of like developed my voice. But in the meantime, I always do songwrite, voice record, write down notes and stuff of experiences that I've gone through where I want it to be into my songwriting. But it's always finding the right producer to kind of like see the vision that I kind of want to go down. So when I came across DM Unsigned, who work in London and stuff, I was like, this is perfect. And it's kind of just ended up going in the right direction. So that's kind of the process we go. I kind of voice note, write a few bits, and then, just give them a bit of an experience on the life that I've kind of had. So
did you pick singing up from an early age, or was it something that you went to school and trained in and just found your feet as you went?
Yeah, well, my mum and dad actually put me into football lessons when I was younger. It wasn't for me particularly, but anyway, my brother is the footballer. But since a young age, they put me into like theatre school and different things. And my actual secondary school was a specialised performing arts school. On the side. So I used to do a lot of showcases, a lot of like musical stuff, a lot of like young competitions when I was 11 as well, back in primary school. I entered a competition in my hometown in Lincolnshire, which hosts so many people, thousands of people. And I came third out of 60 schools in Lincolnshire.
Oh, wow.
And I was only like 10, 11. So that was a really amazing experience. And obviously since then, I've kind of just like developed it, gone to uni, been abroad in Egypt, Greece with my girlfriend Sophie as well, she's a dancer. So we've gone absolutely everywhere together. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind. So my career has just gone like this.
Tell us a little bit about When the Morning Comes. Tell us a little bit of the backstory with that and what inspired you.
So I have, like I say, I've gone through like things in life. I've also seen family and friends suffer with like mental health, and my friends just kind of like have a hard time. A lot of people have lost loved ones as well. Like my mum's lost her friend not long ago as well. So I feel like the song is related to so many situations, not to go into too much detail, but it's obviously means something to me in a lot of different aspects, but to other people as well, it might, they might relate to it as a breakup song. If they've lost someone, maybe, my cousin's Nan, she actually sees it as a love song. So you can relate to it in a completely different way. But to me, it's definitely like about experiences I've gone through, and especially when the chorus kind of ends, like not knowing what to expect when the morning comes. That's how I don't know what I'm going to kind of wake up to some days, or like every day is a different day. Some days can be so good for some people and some days can be so bad. And that's really what I kind of wanted to get out there, if that makes sense. You might relate to it in a different way, but that's...
When I was listening to the words and all of that, like it spoke to me from suffering from Lyme disease. And it was like, when the morning comes and like relying on your faith and your strength and all of that, the courage to keep going. That's how it's been. The different things that I've been through, it spoke to me. I think it'll speak to everyone differently, but it'll touch the chords that you're wanting it to.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so glad there's a different experience as well. I've had so many people reach out to me as well that have put their loved ones that have passed away on social media, and just it's been very overwhelming and very heartwarming as well to hear that it's touched so many people in so many different ways. And yeah, I'd feel myself welling up. Like, it's one of those songs that I didn't expect to have such an impact, but we literally just started writing it a few months ago. I came back from Egypt in July, and then we started writing it. I went down to London. I was like, oh, is this going to go well? And it's kind of just taken off, and people, absolutely love it, which is all I've ever wanted. So
sometimes it's best though when it's like that, when it's like unplanned and you just sort of started, you didn't really expect anything, and then you're just blown out the water with the response you get, and that just kind of inspires you to keep going and just make more music.
Exactly. It just happens so naturally. And
I think with music as well, like you were saying, everyone's taken something different away from your song. Like when you just listen to the lyrics, you build whatever story and whatever you're going through in your own life, and like you relate it in that way. And I think that's a really beautiful thing about music, is you can actually take it in whatever way you want, and it's relatable to everyone.
Yeah, 100%.
So Samuel Jepson, did you say that your song's #2 in the US right now?
Yeah, so on Spotify, I have loads of stats, and it tells me the different countries and how many streams. Obviously, the streams are peaking 10,000. It's only been out just over a week, and I've got a lot of different things that are coming for the second week and the third week, where it could literally like top over. But #1 is obviously the United Kingdom, and #2 is the United States. So it's doing really well. I've got a number of streams in the US, and I think Netherlands, they are #3 as well. So it's doing very well in there. And it's just take it every country. I think it's in about 27 countries right now. So it's doing really well.
Wow, you'll be doing a tour next year.
Tell me about it. Eventually, that would be one of my end goals eventually, to keep writing, make like an EP, an album, and to eventually tour and do some gigs and stuff.
So what are your plans this fall, Samuel?
So this fall, I'm actually creating another song, which is going to be similar style, but a little bit different. I'm maybe wanting to go more down the kind of like big powerhouse ballads, whereas this song that I've created is a bit more softer and a bit more deeper with lyrics. Obviously, it is pop and it is a bit repetitive, but that's kind of, I want people to recognize the song as well. But the next song I want to create is maybe a bit more punchy with vocals as well, and it's going to come out towards fall, and then I might have another one coming out towards the beginning of next year, and it's just going to keep going like that. So hopefully that's the plan.
Yeah, it sounds really good, and it's nice that you're sort of jazzing it up a little bit, because you sometimes find artists and they just stick to what they know, and all the songs that they produce seems very the same.
Yeah, I've noticed that with some of the charts at the minute. Obviously, I love a lot of chart music and a lot of artists, so there are a lot of my favourites in the charts at the minute, but I've noticed there's some songs that are very similar, so I do want to kind of like change it up a little bit. I still want to go down the pop route, so it is going to be quite repetitive in the chorus and stuff, and it's going to be quite catchy because that is pop. But I do want to add my own twist onto it and still make the lyrics very kind of universal, and I want people to kind of relate to it and make it deep.
So when you talk about power ballads, it makes me think of Celine Dion. So, and your voice is so amazing. So you're going to go that where you're going to be really big with them?
Yeah, so when I did I Can See Your Voice on the BBC, I kind of did a big song. It's a Man's World, if you've heard of it.
Oh, yes.
By James Brown. And it's a very big powerhouse ballad, and obviously it did really well. And that's the kind of the sort of stuff that I do sing, like your Purple Rain by Prince, your big kind of songs, Celine Dion, stuff like that, Whitney Houston. And I do suit that as well. So I do want to go down that route and really kind of work on my vocals as well, because I feel like the first song that I brought out, When the Morning Comes, is obviously great, but it's I'd love to like develop my voice even more and show more of my range as well, because that shows a certain style of me, but there's more to come. I've got so many different layers that I do want to kind of like discover and show. So
obviously you've targeted quite a big topic for your first single, being mental health. Do you still want to sort of target different topics, important topics that you'll know that a lot of people will like relate to and be able to feel within your lyrics, or do you want to kind of go down sort of more like fun, just like free flowing kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a few people actually that have reached out to me with this single, a few friends as well, even though they know I sing a lot of like pop ballads that are very deep and slow and obviously, meaningful. They also see me as quite like a bubbly, outgoing person. So they did expect actually for my first single to be quite out there and very upbeat and, joyful and stuff. And I'm not saying I'm not going to create that music, because I do want to create that music, especially a couple of songs within this first album that I'm trying to create. But especially in the future, I'd love to work with different artists and to really develop that as well. I don't want to just make music for the sake of it. I want everything to have a meaning as well. And I do want a purpose to that. And I want people to relate to it. I don't want it to just be about me, even though it's, I've got to feel it. It's still got to relate to people. So there's going to be different music to come, but I want it to have quite a deep meaning, if that makes sense.
You're getting your hooks in now, so you're getting people's attention. You want to, you want to still have that. You don't want to get like typecast in your music either. So if you're everywhere, a nice balance.
100%. You see a lot of artists as well. Every single album will be different, but still very similar. And I don't know. I feel like my voice is quite distinctive, so I feel like even if I go down different routes, it will still be kind of okay, but I do want to keep everything quite similar. So people do recognize the sort of sound, the sort of artist I want to be, keep my lyrics quite deep.
But that's what it is. And if you think about it, like Taylor Swift, for instance, she always everybody looks forward to her albums coming out because she writes songs about, her romances and all of that. So you try to figure out who it is. But she has really good music, So like when the music's good and the storyline's good, like that comes together and it speaks to the world.
100%.
And also obviously talking about Taylor Swift and pop stars that are quite up in their game, they're quite under a lot of pressure to kind of perform and, make a lot of music all at once. Like, are you able to just write as you go and just have the pressure taken off you? Or have you seen the pressure applied now that your first single's done so well?
Yeah, very interesting. Well, I am an independent artist as well, so I'm not signed to anybody. So that's why I'm working with a guy called Darren Martin, who is a producer in London. He's worked with a lot of different people with DM Unsigned. And it kind of enables me to work at my own pace as an artist. I don't have to just run with it and go in. For instance, Lewis Capaldi and different artists that are absolutely great, they've always got, a timeline, and they're pushed by their labels. You've got to write this, you've got to write this. And that's absolutely great. And sometimes, they can have number one hits and stuff. And eventually I want to get a bit quicker at it. But at the minute, I want to organically kind of do it so I can understand my sound and the music I want to make and understand the sort of audience that I'm kind of like getting in as well, and understand what they want to hear. So I'm glad I'm kind of like taking my time.
I think you're smart to do it that way, because most people start out with a label and then they have all those pressures on them and they get typecast labels like you're gonna do this song, and they may not want to. And so later on, when they get big, you see those artists like having their own label, they're recording their own songs. So you're just starting out the right way. Yeah,
100%. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to work with a record label and get signed. So that is one of the end goals. But at the minute, definitely like work on my own sign so I don't get signed and then it obviously kind of gets quite overwhelming. I kind of want to just build, like you say, and hopefully, they'll understand my sound and can work with me.
There's the one artist, Ren. He writes about his battle with Lyme disease, and he's unsigned. So, I mean, he's doing really well.
I know so many artists like Ray as well. Yeah, she's come out of her record label and she's doing really well. So we'll see.
I think sometimes people like it though, because they know that it's more organic when they're not with a label. Like they know that a label will push music onto them and they're questioning, like they'll listen to it thinking, oh, I like it. Has this actually been written by the artist, or has this just been given to them on the desk and they've had to perform it?
Like I'd love to work with so many different artists as well. Obviously there's a lot of big artists and producers and remixers as well with the industry. And I would like to keep, going up and keep progressing and work with really big people. But I don't want to get too carried away, and I do want to stick to my roots and what I believe in. And
Who's your dream team, Samuel, to work with?
Oh, you never know. So I've got some artists that obviously are my all-time. When I was younger, I used to love like Michael Bublé and stuff, but I've gone into kind of the more pop route. I love the way Jamie Miller's kind of bringing out music at the minute. Sam Smith's old album is amazing. Callum Scott, Adele, is literally one of my, I absolutely love Adele to a meet Adele. But it's her new album that's really struck a chord with me. Like, I Drink Wine. I don't know if you've heard the song, but that is literally, that song is so deep. And I feel like it can relate to so many people. It relates to me. And the first time I heard it, I just thought, this is a song. I have it on my playlist all the time, on repeat, and keep streaming it. And yeah, that's definitely kind of the music that I want to write as well. Deep ballads like Adele, and yeah, just keep building with that. But there's some of the artists that I like, producers and stuff, and different people like Kelvin Harris and stuff. They've got some really good hits and stuff. You never know, but there's so many things you could do in the future. So
yeah, and it's good that you have like your sort of timeline and sort of vision for it all, because again, like some people that are quite young, they get into it and then they're like, actually, I've got no direction. I'll just take anything that comes. And sometimes it's the wrong thing that they say yes to, rather than waiting for what's actually right for them. They don't listen. They just think, oh gosh, like I need to grab this opportunity now. So I think it's great that you know exactly what direction you want to go in.
Yeah, 100%. It's like when I went to uni, I went to BIM Brighton, and I was actually in one of the same kind of classes as Mimi Webb, if you know her. She's kind of like
she's
good,
so
she was in one of the songwriting courses. I was in, I think, the vocalist course at the time. This was ages ago now. And I do remember, and she's done so well from it. But at that time, I was so young still. And for me as an artist, I don't think I was ready. I still needed to learn more about the world. And from then, obviously, I went to Greece, performing in hotels. Then I've gone in Egypt with my girlfriend, Sophie, who I met in Greece. And we've kind of just like traveled, and I've learned so much along the way, especially with the TV show, coming home with my family as well. Just, it's all been a development thing. And now I feel mature enough, ready, to actually give this music and to talk, my truth and my story as well. So I feel ready.
Nice you've traveled as well, because it's crazy how much you learn from the people you meet from different cultures, and you
100%.
come back and you feel so much wiser, because you've not seen the world properly until you've actually spoken to the people that live there and traveled a lot and gone to different cultures.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like for an artist that just like blows up at 21, 18, and then they're literally just, or even younger, some of the Disney stars. I don't know how that actually must be for them to just like blow up overnight. And it's kind of like, they're obviously traveling and stuff, but they've got so much pressure as well. So yeah,
it's like Justin Bieber, like, he's 29 and he looks like he just wants to retire. He looks like he doesn't want to like be involved with it anymore. And I can understand that, because, he started at like 15, 16. So he's done probably like more than
so
anyone
much as well
could do. So
absolutely crazy.
So Samuel,
but it must be hard at like 29 to think, oh gosh, like if I retire, then what have I got?
What do you feel you'll do to like, because you're seeing all of this in the world and with artists and just different, it is that way even in the business world or working or whatever. Your passion should always stay your passion, and you shouldn't allow like the money and, all the pressures and stuff to get to you. How do you think that you'll keep yourself real so that you still speak to everyone?
Come back to my family, friends, spend more time with them, really just like ground myself ever so often. So if I do obviously take off quite a bit, and obviously things do kind of like develop, and I'm on tours or whatever happens in the next year and a half, if you say that's the sort of timeline that I'm writing quite a few songs. If anything big does happen, I do want to keep to my roots and keep coming back home. So I feel like it just grounds you, and there's a lot that goes on at home and stuff that I want to be close to my family as well, especially when I've been abroad in Egypt and Greece, and I've been working for like 7 months to a year non-stop, and I don't get to see anything. I miss so many events, I miss so many things. So I do want that kind of real side as well, and I do want to kind of keep myself sane, and I do watch a lot of spiritual videos. Well, I'm very spiritual, so I like to just like ground in on that and just keep I'm very spiritual. I've got my crystals. I've actually got one now, like one of my labradorite crystals, which is beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, which I think it just like
all over there.
It's such a powerful kind of crystal. So yeah, I just love all that.
Powerful. That's for your third eye and your throat chakra. So like keep that with you, because that's a beautiful stone. Yeah. If I known we were going to share crystals, I would have brought mine.
So sorry. Yeah, it just opens me up. I just feel Yeah, I watch a lot of like different spiritualists online. I have been to a few spiritual mediums, and I just feel like not that this is related to the music, but I'd love to write music about it as well, and my experience with that. And I just, I feel like that grounds me.
You know, Samuel, you're talking to a spiritual medium.
Oh,
edit that out. I'm not promoting myself in this.
No, I love that.
So if you ever, like, Sophie consults me.
What a reading.
Yes, let's do it. Not on here. Let's do it.
I love that. Yeah. I've been to a few and they've been really good, but I'd like to go to a few more. And yeah, I feel like it just keeps you whole and keeps you real and really balances you out. And the messages as well, like it makes you know that there's more to life. That's what I love about it. So.
Yes. And that's why you shouldn't limit yourself when you say, well, I don't know. Yes, you do. So you speak it into existence and it shall be. So don't cancel yourself out. You know, don't say if this happens, say when this happens. Because I see you being really big, Samuel. I really do.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think, do you know what? That's really interesting. For a long time, I kept saying, you know, when's it going to happen? Is it going to happen? And I feel like, especially this year, I actually got a tattoo done, which is actually on the bottom of my leg. And it's 222. But it's upside down. So it says 222, which is all about alignment and stuff. And it was really, really weird because in Egypt, I kept seeing the number fly up on my TikTok, messages, the time. And I kept seeing it. And I actually went to a spiritual medium and she was like, have you been seeing a lot of angel numbers? And it's a particular number. And I was like, I have actually. It's 222. And she was like, you need to do something with that. So I actually got it tattooed, but I actually felt inside I needed to come home from Egypt. And in my head, I was like to social my girlfriend. I was like, I need to write music. I need to do this. This is all I've wanted to do. And it feels right. I came home within the first week. I got speaking to that DM unsigned. And it's just all kind of like happened naturally. So I knew that, you know, there's no kind of like, when's this going to happen? When's it not going to happen? Like it felt right. So I've just gone with it and it's all kind of happening naturally. And yeah, the timing is perfect.
And it's so good that you didn't let fear stop you at that point, because a lot of people would have thought, no, I'm quite comfortable here in Egypt. It might not happen. I'll have made the trip. I'll get disappointed. I'm not going to put myself out there. So credit to you for doing that, because it takes a lot of courage to do that.
Yeah, I've been there before. And this time I was there, like the first few months were great. And then the months after that, it was just a bit too hot. And I just knew there was something wrong. So I came home and it's all kind of just happened. So yeah, a lot of people do get stuck. They enjoy the heat and stuff. There's a part of it, even cruise ships and stuff, it's such a luxury job.
Yeah.
And I would love to do that in the future, don't get me wrong, but I definitely just want to home in on being an artist and write my own music. And I'm so glad I'm going down that route.
Definitely. Did you have any more questions?
Well, I could talk all day now that we've
we know that.
I know, right? Like James already said. You know, with your tattoo, the number 2 is about balance, partnership, loyalty, love, like unconditional love. But when it's amplified like that, when it's 222, 22 is like Archangel Raphael's number. And it's about healing. It's about like, it's everything that you're going through right now, whatever you're going through right now. And
definitely.
It's really a good number. It really is.
Yeah, 100%. I do. It's a weird time. I feel like it is such a healing time for so many people in the world and everything that everybody's been through as well in the last few years. And the world's just changing, you know, every day. And I do feel like everybody just needs, you know, music that they can relate to or be like, no, that is definitely how I'm feeling. And I do feel like being back, especially seeing 222, like you say, it's such a healing number. And coming back, I do feel like this year especially is my healing time. I don't know why, it just feels right.
And you should trust that, because it is a healing time for a lot of people. It really is. So what are some things that you would like our viewers to know about you? Like, what's your favorite food? What's like, you know, where's the most, you went to a lot of countries. So what's your favorite place that you found that is like somewhere you'd like to go back to?
I'd love to go back to Greece. It was such a beautiful country.
Yeah.
I've also been to Turkey on holiday and that was amazing as well. I've never been to the United States, so I do want to go to the United States like so bad. I'm coming. At some point I am coming. Like it's all I've wanted to do.
Come to Orlando. I'll be your tour guide in Florida.
Yeah, 100%. I'd love that. Let's set it up. But yeah, it's such a... I want to travel the world and keep traveling. I say I've been to a lot of places, but there's so many more I can go to, and hopefully with tours and stuff like that, I can keep doing it. My favourite food, as some of my friends and family will know, Chinese. I love Chinese takeaway.
James on that one. My partner loves Chinese, but I can't eat it. Like, I don't have the gut for it. So whenever like I'm out, he's like, I'm getting a Chinese. I'm like, oh, okay.
Are you from the UK, so?
Yeah.
Are you from the UK Chinese food? It's literally Chinese takeaway at least once a week. It's so bad.
I don't do Chinese. I'm more of like an Italian. I love Italian.
Pizza.
See, Sophie, my girlfriend, she loves pizza, loves Italian. I like it, but it has to have lots of like chili and stuff. I have quite like strong taste buds. I like, rich food. So
a kick.
You like Mexican? Yeah. Mexicans rule.
Love Mexican and Japanese. Yeah, spicy food as well. Love that. Yeah.
Spicy is good. It kind of gets me and Sophie, I think. But Samuel, it's been really nice talking to you today. We want to let everyone know again where your song is. You can find him on all of the downloading apps, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. And where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram, my Facebook page, and I'm on Twitter, YouTube, absolutely everywhere at Samuel Jepson. I'm also on TikTok as well at I'm Samuel Jepson, which is doing so well. TikTok. So yeah, go check that out.
I'm obsessed with
really?
TikTok.
Yeah, I'm a bit obsessed, but I can't get off live as well. I do go live a lot. So.
Oh, nice. I have to go on there.
Oh, I need to follow you.
Definitely. Just a lot of promotion stuff. It's such a good platform for start out artists and just any creators at all. It's just a really, really good platform to get your music out there. And Well,
Samuel, we'd love to have you back on sometime when you've got more songs under your belt and you have more things that we can talk to you about.
Well, to be fair, we've done well. We've not had a fit of giggles yet.
Just a little bit, not bad. Sophie not the giggles, can't help it. So it's just this is how it is. We don't have any frills or anything. It's like we want to talk to people, we want to get the messages out, and that's what's most important. So things happen and we just let it roll.
100%.
Thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it, and we've really enjoyed chatting to you.
Thank you.
And good luck for the future as well.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Everyone remember to like, share, and subscribe with this episode. Share out this video so Samuel's song gets out everywhere. Go download his song. And remember to follow us on Nerve of Mind on Instagram, Facebook, of course, here on YouTube.
Thank you.
Time has gone by. And God knows I've tried. Still I'm here trying to work out the best way to survive. I held on to hope, I put on a show, and holding back tears cause my fears, they won't let me go. And when times get easy and hold on to the good memories, we climbed up the mountains and fell in the deep. We were holding on to something, then we lost belief. We're in the middle of a nightmare, hoping soon we'll wake up, and will you still be there when the morning comes? When the morning comes, when the morning comes, when the morning comes, when the morning comes, when the morning comes. My troubled mind gets me every time, trying to fix what is broken, make it all golden again. And my soul is bruised, it's bruised, it's bruised. I don't wanna lose, to lose, to lose. Trust in my faith as I turn a brave face once again. And when times get easy, and hold on to the good memories. We climbed up the mountains and fell in the deep. We were holding on to something, then we lost belief. We're in the middle of a nightmare, hoping soon we'll wake up. And will you still be there when the morning comes? When the morning comes? When the morning comes? When the morning comes? And will you still be there when the morning comes?